Hello and welcome to this week's vlog from Maddisons. Well, I promise you this week a look at the Conservative policies and how a Conservative victory could affect the housing market. Well, of course, last week Labour and their policies are all about raising extra revenue. That's kind of what you'd expect to see. Labour is generally seen as a more socialist party. Conservatives seem to be on the favour of business and capitalism. So, of course, Labour wants to introduce lots of new measures to help boost education, NHS, and that's got to be paid for. So a lot of their measures are looking at extra taxation on the housing market. Conservatives, as you would expect, well, they're looking more at how do they boost the housing market. They want people to feel confident in the economy, spend more money because, of course, that all helps capitalism and the big world revolve around. Of course, Boris mentioned about changing stamp duty as soon as he became Prime Minister, and many thought that might have stalled the market a little bit, especially in more expensive areas. The two measures he wants to do, he wants to raise the limit at which kind of you effectively don't pay any stamp duty. It's currently sits at £125,000. He wants to raise that to £500,000, but he also wants to address that top rate. You can pay a maximum of 12% in every pound stamp duty once you get to the really big numbers of above 1.2 million. But he wants to reduce that down to 7%. My gut feeling is he just simply can't afford to do that. Unless you are going to make tax changes elsewhere, I don't see how he can afford to do it. Of course, the other counter-argument, which certainly could happen, is that if those cuts stimulate the market, then you will see more transactions and therefore higher volume of stamp duty cases going through. So you might not get the same value for each deal that goes through, but if there's more deals going through, then the revenue for Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs would increase. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens on stamp duty. Other reforms, though, they're looking to abolish the Section 21. The Section 21 gives the landlord a right to evict a tenant through no fault. So if a tenant hasn't done anything wrong, the landlord just wants their property back. And it's felt that's very unsettling for tenants, so they want to abolish that. That will be received very badly in the investor property market. The reality is if a landlord's got a good tenant in, they won't want to get rid of them. They normally invoke the Section 21 because of personal circumstances. They want to sell the property, they want to do something else with it, they want to return to it themselves. So that will not go down well if that's looked at. They want to continue addressing leasehold properties. There's been a rise lately with developers making what would be deemed a normal freehold property into a leasehold property because it all generates more money for the developers. They want to really continue to crack down on that. They want to look at giving incentives for longer fixed-term mortgages. It's felt that if they make housing more affordable, then that will certainly help. And they want to continue their right to buy scheme. The right to buy scheme is seen as one of the biggest socialist initiatives of the Conservative Party for many, many years. It basically looks to help people get on the housing market by effectively giving them an interest-free loan up to 20% of the property value. It's got very mixed reviews. Has it just meant that developers can ask more for a property because it only applies to new properties? So it's got mixed reviews, but they certainly want to continue all of that. So lots of things they're trying to do to address and boost the housing market. But the biggest thing, I think, from a Conservative victory, which might cause uncertainty in the market, is the whole Brexit debacle. The UK stock market has underperformed the world stock market by 10% for the last 3 years on average since we voted to leave the EU. And that's because assets just don't like uncertainty. They want to know what's going to happen. They want to know if they're going to go up or down. So no market likes uncertainty, and that's what we're living in at the moment. So although lots of measures which generally mean that the housing market should be boosted by a Conservative victory, there is that one underlying uncertainty with regards to Brexit in the background. So we will wait and see on that. Lighter subject, well, somebody who won't be worrying about the housing market in the future is that lucky couple who won 105 million in the Euro Million draw. I've been looking at what they might want to spend their money on. And how about this 10-bedroom mansion in Highgate? It's absolutely superb. It's an exquisite 10-bedroom property which boasts panoramic views over Hampstead Heath and beyond. It's got 2 acres of land. That's a lot of land in London, incorporating a tennis court, a phenomenal indoor swimming pool that opens onto beautiful beautiful gardens, has a self-contained staff lodge, a home gym, a spa, a billiard room, and if they want to buy some supercars, there's a garaging enough for 4 of them. Price on application on that one, but I think they'd be able to afford it, so that looks of interest. Well, of course, finally, just to end, Christmas in full flow. If you would like to take your little ones to meet Father Christmas in a very unique environment, then how about this year, head on down to the ice rink at Calverley Park, or take a train from Eridge Station, where the big man himself will be making an appearance. We hope you enjoy and that you've enjoyed the vlog this week. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.